everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies featuring the Can You Take the Heat cookbook. The JR's Country Cornbread was pretty good last week as the side, so now we're on to the entree, Stone Cold's Texas Toast. First up, let's tell the story. Stone Cold is not a morning person. Neither am I, as anybody will tell you. But this dish makes even the Texas rattlesnake smile at sunrise. Use large brown eggs and Cinnabon brand cinnamon, and then tell me you can sit still while eating this masterpiece. Well, I can promise you we are not using Cinnabon brand cinnamon. What we are using, however, is over at the table, so let's move it in that general direction. The recipe as written serves 4, but seeing as it only needs to serve little old me, I'm only going to make 1 serving of this. Recipe as written will be in the description down below, as usual, with the 4 servings in it. So in order to make this recipe, we are going to need 3 eggs, a quarter teaspoon of vanilla, I'm using vanilla extract, half a cup of milk, a tablespoon of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of ground cinnamon, salt to taste, 8 slices day-old thick sliced bread. I'm using 2 once again because I'm only making 2. Butter for frying, pure maple syrup. I'm also using peanut butter because I like peanut butter on my Texas toast and stuff like this. But let's move into the kitchen and start putting this recipe together. Entree week on Mystical Munchies usually admittedly means dinners, so being able to make a breakfast for an entree is actually a nice change of pace. So we should be able to get that in without any kind of crazy games on the schedule. But that slight ramble aside, we've got a shallow bowl here in shot, which actually this pie plate will work very nicely for. So we'll start off by whisking together. We'll start off by whisking everything we need for the batter. So first up, we've got the eggs. Preferably minus shell for obvious reasons. Two. And 3. Oop. We'll get a piece of paper towel here and do a quick little cleanup job on some of the spare egg that got away from me. Then we'll take our quarter teaspoon of vanilla, which I've got that right here. And I've got one of the yolks starting to break up, which is absolutely fine as far as I'm concerned. Oop. The vanilla can all go back up. Half a cup of milk, which I've got the milk right here. That can go back into the fridge. The tablespoon of sugar is going to be coming next, which I've got that right here in a canister. The 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, again, not Cinnabon brand, because my grocery stores don't have Cinnabon brand cinnamon. And salt to taste. We'll go very light on the salt. Okay. Then we'll grab my whisk and whisk all of that together. Okay. That all looks good, so the whisk can go toward the dishes as well. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring the bread in. And here's the point where it would be very easy to get an assembly line going. So we'd go bread into the batter, eventually into the pan, which is where we're going next. So we'll start off with a piece of our bread. We'll dip that in, and we'll get both sides coated. Okay, perfect. And now I'm going to give my hands a quick wash, as we will be moving over to the counter very shortly. And of course, I don't like having foodstuffs on my hands before I start handling electronics. So let's get ready to move over to the stove. I've already set the medium skillet, the skillet over medium heat. So now we're going to add the butter in. We'll let that melt. And I know this is a boring part of Mystical Munchies, but we are going to watch this all in real time. So we're just going to wait for the butter to melt. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you guys watch the entire cook of this in real time where I cook up both pieces of the toast. We're going to do one in real time, then I'll turn the camera off to do the other one. And then, as usual, I cook one in real time just for demonstration purposes. So once this first one's done, and I'm going to grab a plate down so I've got something. Once I move the butter around on the pan a little bit more, I'll bring a plate down so I've got somewhere. I'll bring a plate down so I can put the toast on a plate after I'm done with it. Just trying to make sure the butter gets swirled around a bit here. In retrospect, I probably could have come on with the butter already melted in the pan and ready to go, but because you guys probably don't need my help to see, okay, here's how you melt butter. But, oh well, what's done is done at any rate. It just let me get some of the other stuff ready for later on in the recipe when things are all done here. Including when somebody needs to go om nom nom for breakfast. Okay, now the pan is definitely starting to sizzle. And this piece of butter is just about melted. Odds are it's probably melted enough that I can bring in the first piece of the toast. So what we're going to do, as I mentioned, is we're going to fry the bread on both sides over medium heat until it's golden brown. Okay? So now we'll bring the first piece of the bread in. It's been soaking for a while. So easy does it. Okay. I'll give my hands a quick wash, but I am eventually going to get the rough assembly line going. Actually, I can probably just get the second piece of the bread in now. So I'm going to do that off camera. The rest of the bread can go back into the fridge. Okay. It's definitely not ready to turn yet. So as usual, like I mentioned, we are going to watch the first one cook in real time. This way, I've talked about this before, but I'm less likely to screw up the recipe when I cook it, when I do the first part of the cook in real time. Hold on, I just heard a notification. I usually mute my computer, so let me go check on that real quick. Sorry about that. I had a notification on Facebook I had to deal with. I re-muted the computer though. Let me check on this. Okay. Now let's flip it over and see how it looks. Okay, that's probably going to get a little bit more time on the other side once I flip it back. We're going to let the other side cook for a little bit here. Okay. All right, that side needs to get flipped back over. Unfortunately, one of the annoying things about this recipe is it doesn't really give you a time guideline in terms of it should take about this long to cook. Some of the recipes do, but they mostly are giving you times for bake. It looks like it's mostly for bake times, which is a little bit irritating, but I don't think there's any help for that at this point. Just looking for some other recipes I might be able to sink my teeth into at some point. Because there's definitely a lot of good recipes in here. I could very easily get a few sets of recipes for Mystical Munchies out of this cookbook. Okay, this one, I'll give the other side a little bit of time to cook since it needed a little bit of extra. There's a little bit of charring on this side, but I don't think it'll affect the taste test. Shouldn't be any big problem there. Okay, actually I think we're good there, so we can pull this first piece out. Then we'll bring the second piece in, but we're not going to watch that one. We're not going to watch that one cook in real time, so we'll just bring this one in. Whoa. And then I will cook this one off camera, and we'll come back to the finished product being ready before I pretty it up for the taste test. Here's our first look at the finished product. The second piece just came off the skillet not too long ago. So now I'm going to pretty this up with the peanut butter and the syrup, and I will meet you guys over at my desk for the taste test. I've got the Texas toast back here, so we're going to give it a taste in a minute. The other side of the second piece, one of the sides actually came out a bit charred, but again, it shouldn't really affect anything with the taste test. So let's give this a taste and see what I think. This is supposed to be breakfast this morning. It's pretty good. It's a typical French toast recipe, but I'm pretty sure I'd be sitting still using Cinnabon brand cinnamon. but that's just my style. That's also another episode of Mystical Munchies in the books. Next week we'll be on the dessert, Kane's Red Velvet Cake. Still a lot of great stuff coming up on the channel. Later this afternoon, I am going to be wrapping up the spring campaign in Arkham Horror, the card game, as things have gone pretty badly in the campaign, so we'll wrap that up early, but I'll talk more about that this afternoon. As such, Sunday we're going to be playing a different game in the morning, but in the afternoon we will have the 1985 season recap and reveal show. So if you want to influence what could be coming on the channel in the summer, the poll is still open. Your last chance to help influence that content is going to be today. Actually, the poll will be open until the reveal portion of the 1985 season recap and reveal show comes live. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't have an exact time yet, but I know it will be on Sunday. As for what else is coming up on the channel, Wednesday we're playing game number 8 on my War Room 10 game challenge list as we play Defending America, Intercepting the America Bombers by Compass Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.